showstoppers and punk rockers. I'm your host, John Cohn, with Late at the Library. Now, I've heard a lot of teachers ask students, why didn't you study for this test? Or why didn't you spend more time on this project? Well, next time a teacher asks you that, I have a response for you to give them. A year has 365 days, right? Now, you aren't supposed to work on Sundays, so take 52 days away from that. Now you're left with 313 days. There are about 50 days in the summer that are just way too hot to work. I mean, come on. All you should be doing is sitting outside in the kiddie pool in your backyard with your little arm floaties on. Now you're left with only 263 days. We sleep about 8 hours a day. Us college students really have learned to go on about 4 hours, but we'll say 8, since that's what you're supposed to get. This adds up to 122 days. So now there are only 141 days left for potential studying. If we fool around for only 1 hour per day, now this could be going on Facebook, talking on the phone, maybe you're doing your makeup or going to the doctor's office, whatever. If we were to fool around for 1 hour per day, 15 days are gone. So now we're left with 126 days. We spend around 2 hours each day eating, so that's another 30 days gone, leaving us with only 96 days. Now, family time is important. Aren't your professors and everyone always telling you to keep close with your family? So you should spend 1 hour per day speaking with friends and family, which takes away another 15 days, leaving you with potentially 81 days to study. Exams and tests take up at least 35 days a year if you're an average college student, leaving you with 46 days to study for said tests and exams. Take off approximately 40 days for holidays, and you're left with 6 days. Now sickness happens. What if you get the flu? You're not going to be sitting there with your economics book in front of you while you're spilling the contents of your stomach. Let's say you get sick 3 days out of the year. You're left with 3 days to study. Take away 2 days for miscellaneous things such as a friend's birthday, going out to a party, going to a movie, things like that. We're college students. We have time to be crazy. You're left with 1 day. 1 day. But that's your birthday. And that's why you couldn't study. And by the way, if anyone tries this, let me know how it works out for you. I want to know what your teacher says. For quizzes and tests and sometimes even homework can really be a pain in the neck. Thankfully, Delta has a couple ways to make that a little easier. There are 2 centers in the library that can help you out if you're having trouble in class, need help studying, or have that end of the semester 10 to 15 page paper that seems like every class has. So it's time to welcome our first guest to the show. Please welcome Elizabeth Dewey from the Teaching and Learning Center here on campus. Nice to meet you, Elizabeth. So, what classes can the TLC help me with?
The Teaching and Learning Center's student and professional tutors can help with a variety of classes from macroeconomics to lifelong learning. We can also assist with writing across the curriculum and with skills such as making effective use of your textbooks or other course materials and time management.
Time management is quite an important one. What if I'm taking a sociology class and I'm not just understanding it all?
We can definitely help you with that.
And what if I'm taking a college algebra course and can't figure out the quadratic formula?
We have many math tutors who will be more than happy to assist you.
What about my online classes? Can you help with those too?
Online students are more than welcome to come in for assistance with either content, or we can also assist in navigating D2L if it's your first time taking an online class, or if you just can't find something.
You guys really can help with almost any class at Delta. Now, about test taking. Some people are just not good test takers. They get nervous, and everything they knew seems to fly away as soon as the test gets passed out. Can you guys help out with that?
Many students have difficulty with reading their books, taking good notes, completing their homework. studying for exams. Our tutors can show students different ways to study that will help make that testing easier. And students are still really nervous, as they often are.
Right, right.
We can assist with techniques for testing and also with techniques for managing the test anxiety.
So if a student wants to come into the Teaching and Learning Center, what should they bring?
All a student needs is a picture ID, preferably a Delta one, and their course materials.
Okay, thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you for coming on. Let's give Elizabeth one last round of applause. And let's move on and talk about another center here on campus that can help with homework and projects, the RIT Center. Please welcome our next guest to the show, Angela Trabalka. Thank you for coming on, Angela. And thank you for being on the show. Why don't you begin by telling me a little about the RIT Center? What does WRIT stand for, and what do you do?
Hi, John. Thanks for having me. And WRIT, the RIT Center, stands for Writing, Reading, and Information Technology. When students visit the RIT Center, they should expect to meet with student consultants who have been trained specifically in the areas of writing and reading. And they've been chosen as student consultants based on their ability to write and read well, and for their abilities to interact with their peers and provide excellent feedback to their peers.
Top-notch students. And at what point should students come in to get help with their projects? Let's say you have a college student who's just really on top of things. Can they come in the day it gets assigned for help brainstorming a topic, maybe developing an outline? Or what if they have the paper all written and they want to come in for a final proofreading? Can they come in just for that?
Absolutely. They can come in at any stage of their reading or writing process. So we do see students who are just starting off and are looking for ideas on how to approach their assignments, as well as seeing students further into the process. So students can come to us in order to help them gather credible sources, or they can come to us for help integrating sources using APA and MLA formatting, which is often very difficult and overwhelming for students. So we can help with any stage of the process from the beginning right through till the end.
Now, Angela, a lot of teachers are assigning PowerPoints to go with the papers. Sometimes PowerPoint can be challenging to figure out. Can people in the RIT Center help with that?
Absolutely. We find now that coming up with an assignment is not as simple as just putting pen to paper like it was in the olden days.
Right.
So now students have to be able to navigate using Microsoft Word and PowerPoint and other types of technology, from e-learning to whatever social media sites are used in the classroom, and we can help with any of that.
Now, there's one more thing that I've heard, and this is just something that I've heard, that you should really procrastinate on projects because the longer you wait, the older you are, the wiser you are. So let's say I follow this philosophy, right, and come into the RIT Center on a Monday night, and my 10-page paper is due Tuesday morning, and I haven't even thought of a topic yet. Can you write my paper for me?
That's an interesting line of thinking, and I would say in that situation you're up a creek without a paddle.
All right, well, thank you for being on this show. Let's give Angela one last round of applause. Since we've been talking about the RIT Center and the TLC, which are both part of the Library Learning Information Center, or LLIC, at Delta, we thought it would be fun to see what people think the LLIC stands for. So we went between the shelves.
Can I look it up?
I can't really think of anything.
LLIC? Probably something technical. I do not know.
Library Learning and Information Center.
And that's it for this show, everyone. Be sure to check out our other shows as well, and have a great night.